I love this. I love this call. I got to tell you, with all the amazing things that are happening in our world that may not be real positive, this is a call that keeps me awake um, and grateful every day. So thank you, everybody. Um, just to give you a little background on you, I've been sort of sitting quietly in the background for the last 3 months, listening to you all and watching you, and I've really gotten some great education. What's happening is that um, to give you some background on me, I've been an RN for 49 years. I had to pull up my calculator when I was getting ready for this call to find out how long I've actually been in nursing. Isn't that amazing? And I've worked in all different types of areas. Um, when I graduated from nursing school, I ran away from home for 15 years. I just took off and traveled all over, and usually the South Pacific. And for all the New Zealand people, it's so exciting to see you here because I, I actually worked at Wanganui Base Hospital for 2 years. And one of my great friends, Candy Cookson, is in Rotorua down there. I was her roommate, and she was wonderful. So I've had a lot of adventures in my life, and then came back to Washington and got married, had 2 children, got divorced, and eventually ended up back in Michigan where my family is. I come from a family of 8, and most of them are here. Some of them are in Alaska. But I I've always had this traveling spirit. So I got to tell you, you guys have kept my spirit up when I can't hop on a plane and run away to Mexico for 3 weeks. And I mean, you guys have made it worthwhile to be at home, I'll tell you. So anyway, I wanted to talk about my experience with Limbic Arc because I don't hear a story that is quite what I've experienced, but I think there might be some people in the background who aren't saying much, like I didn't say much and just listening in. But unlike a lot of you, I didn't have any great breakthrough experiences with Limbic Arc. I did, however, receive 3 months ago, Morgan sent a message to my girlfriend, and she just sent it on to me. I don't think she even looked at it, but she knew it had to do with health. So she thought I'd be interested. And I saw Morgan's chat. I didn't know Morgan at the time. And oh my gosh, I spent 3 hours on the computer checking out what the heck is this Limbic Arc thing. Because I've always been interested in alternative ways to heal. Ever since they tried to put my 3-year-old son on a gurney and take him in to do surgery on him because of an ear infection, I grabbed that little puppy and headed out of there, my own hospital. I said, no, we're not doing this. And I found a naturopath who did homeopathy sort of drops. And he was, within 2 months, he never had an ear infection again. And that sold me. I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world, but it worked. And I was unwilling to do the usual traditional tubes in the ears. And they actually went under general anesthesia at the time. So that was my beginning to open up from the medical education that I had into there's more out there and I don't know what it is. So I started exploring. I spent most of my life without health insurance. So I figured that my supplements were my health insurance. And I pay even now about $300 a month just to get supplements that I take regularly. And what I'm excited about is with Limbic Arc, I'm looking at being able to decrease those. I'm not in any rush to do so, but to be able to decrease them. For example, I did a custom yesterday, and the custom showed up for the first time ever in 3 months, thyroid, care of the thyroid. And I realized 2 weeks ago, I had decreased my thyroid medication by 2/3. And I thought, oh, maybe I jumped a little fast into that. So I increased my thyroid medication by another third. And I'll stay on that for a while and see if thyroid supplementation continues to come up on my custom. So that's the way I've been learning about it myself, is it's been educating me on what's going on. I spend a lot of time on my cell phone, and cell phone radiation seems to come up, even though I've got this really good cover on it, often. So it makes me more aware of my environment and what actually is important to me. So I spent, let's see, so I just stayed on this program because I knew, and I heard Dr. Cook say this, we're like onions, and we just start peeling away. And some of you have had magnificent, miraculous changes. Gina, oh my gosh, talking, changes like that, her and Ron. But I think there are, we're so different from one another that I'm willing to stay on this and let these outside of my onion continue to peel. I know that I'm more peaceful. My blood pressure has gone down significantly. I was running 170 over 100. I'm now in the 120s to 140s over 70 to 80, which is amazing because I only ran the cardiovascular, I think, for about 2 weeks out of this last 3 months. But I think that custom just knows what I need, and I trust that. I usually spark everything because I just feel like it gives me more information that way than taking all of the products that are there, and I learn more about myself. So my blood pressure is down. I'm more at peace. I did have one sort of thing that I could relate to is I put pain on once, and I have had a knee replacement. I'm trying to not get another knee replacement. And the pain in my knees disappeared. I found myself running up and down the steps, and I got to the bottom of the steps once, went, wow, I think that's pain. It wasn't really pain, it was a discomfort in my knees, but it was gone. It hasn't come back yet either, even though I've not been running it. So I am so blessed to have each of you on this call and to listen and to really get a sense of what's going on. I watched a movie called The Healer on Netflix, and it talks about a reluctant healer who knew he had this power in his hand, but he didn't want it. And I know we're not all healers, but I've committed my life to supporting people and healing as much as I can. And it touched me, that film, because I felt like a reluctant healer. But thank God Dr. Cook has actually laid something in our laps that we can share with people like I have never had the ability to share before. I've been sharing with people, on Facebook, you get these people say, oh my God, what an awful day. I'm going to have surgery, or my knees hurt. And I'll text them and say, hey, if you would like some support in that, I think I have something that can help. And some people answer back, and some people have signed up out of that. But just being aware of your environment and how we can help people that I couldn't, even with my background in nursing, couldn't help people before. I work with people with traumatic brain injury, and they've been involved in car accidents. I've worked with them I ran a big business for 14 years, and now I'm sort of semi-retired, but I still have a few people I work with. And the difference, I won't go into because it's their experience, but the difference they're reporting to me is really wonderful. This is a way to really support people with cognitive issues that I have never had in my bag of tricks before. I even call it my magic wand. So I just want to say that if you're like me, a reluctant healer, and you want to share, do it, because the world needs this. And God bless Dr. Cook. God bless Dan for putting this on, and Bob and Carl and Gina. You've been so much support to me that it's almost like this spider web that just keeps going out and out. And I'm committed to being one of those people that does what I can do to help spread this around. I think, what was it, the big audacious goal that Dr. Cook had of reaching 1 billion people on the planet? We're just at the very beginning of that. And I'm committed to do what I can do while I'm here. So thank you, everyone. That's sort of my story, and I'll continue to be here with you just about every day I can.